welcome to Soul. Thank you for joining me. Today, I don't really want to act like I'm an expert when it comes to money, but I do want to speak from personal experience about something that I learned working in finance and getting a degree in economics and reading the many books that I love to read as a bookworm, besides Harry Potter. First and foremost, I'd like to start by saying today's episode is not financial advice. This is still a podcast about how to live our best lives as our best selves, but part of having a happy, healthy mind, body, and soul is not having to worry about certain things. Now, we're all adults here, so there should be no shame about including money as a means to minimize our worries. More money will not bring you more happiness, but learning how to manage money will bring you more ease and peace of mind where things can be solved with money. I think especially us millennials, Gen Z, and slowly Gen Alpha have also realized that we don't want to slave away in a 9-to-5, knowing that unlike previous generations, that will not necessarily get us our dream house or our dream job. We are the generations faced with reality and a society and an economy that no matter where you are in the world is quite chaotic. Don't forget, I work a 9-to-5 and I'm blessed to love my job, but I'm also realistic and know that there's more that we need to do on the side. And what I mean by on the side is not to say a side hustle, but specifically how to learn to work with that money. Like I said, my goal is not to give you financial advice, but I do want to speak of one thing today and highlight the importance and also give you some suggestions that were given to me by actual experts, friends, and family. That suggestion or guidance is simply to get financially literate. What does that mean? In short, identify what you want to achieve that requires money. For example, buying your dream house. And what are your options to get that money? If we take that example of buying a house, if you think of money, you'll mostly spend it, save it. But a lot of times people forget about the option of investing, for example. Similar to saving, it can help you for a rainy day, but it's also something that not too many people are literate about. I myself only started at the age of 26, and at the time I remember thinking, I'm already so late. But it's not something I was taught at school or in university. I never came across the idea of being financially literate growing up. And it's why I find that to be something that's so important for us. As we're still young, we're still growing, we're still trying to figure out our lives, to look into a little bit, to start getting curious about it. Funnily enough, I recently saw a poll about money on social media, and it was one of those side hustle motivation posts. And the question on the poll was, what would you do with extra money? And the options were work less, buy more, save, or pay off debts. Now, these are great things to do with extra money, especially when it comes to paying off debts, right? But I thought it was interesting that investing, for example, was not something that's an option. For women especially, we often do not get the advice of investing or learning about financial literacy. I read this fantastic book that spoke about how little women know about investing or managing money in general. Like I said, I'm not an expert, nor will I pretend to be, but I will give a shout out to people who actually are experts. For example, women who are looking to educate about financial literacy. Most famously at the moment is The Female Invest. I read their book, Girls Just Want to Have Funds, and it gives the Investing 101 backstory. We speak a lot about self-care and self-love and living the simple and slow and easy life. But unless you get paid as an influencer, and even if you do, we need to be adults and speak about the importance of learning how to manage our money and what we do with it. It is wonderful to spend money on yourself and loved ones and to be able to pay off debts and to be able to save it. But I will leave you with this. Get curious about financial literacy beyond the basics. Ask, learn, read about it. Again, I repeat, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you go out and invest in the first thing you see, but it's basically financial literacy advice. What you do with your money will dictate a big part of your well-being. And the more we learn about that, the more we learn about what we can do with it, and the better our decisions will be. So let's get literate on money, step by step, day by day. Thanks again for your time. and I'll see you next week on Soul.